So this is the final video on the Allis Chalmers kids tractor bed project. Got it painted, moved up into the room. All of my corner braces that we showed earlier are all tightened up. This is the fourth video, so I'm going to be just showing how it all comes together in the final project, or the final put together, and be skipping all the other stuff we covered. Anyways, the corners are together, the box is together. Put the grill back in, tightened up those screws, slid it in the channel, screwed the front on. There was a couple of holes right here, which are all tightened up. I'll have to suck that in. And then we'll move on to putting the back. So here it is. Back is slid on. 3 screws are tightened up there. Holds that in. So next, after that's done, we took the cover, put the cover on 2 hinges kind of mounted backwards there and flush, painted and decals, and there's that slant back, and that's all finished. Next, moving on to the door with the hinges. Got my hinges on. This side swings in, and that slides on there. Next step is we'll throw some mattresses in it and put the cross member in the steering wheel up. Alright, so this is the next step, putting up the cross member and this 2x4 here. So here's a 2x4 upright with 2 3/4 inch dowel rods holding it there, 1 driven down through the top of here, and then those 4 dowel pins there, and the steering wheel mounted in the center. Next step is the 2 1/2 inch pins in there. The door shuts. Yeah, it's a little off, but you pull that together and it'll shut. Just as a quick correction, except for these 2 metal pins right here, these are all 3/8 inch, not 3/4 inch dowel pins. There's 1 going down here, 2 from the bottom, and what I forgot to show here is I got 1 going down from the top here to lock these 2 together, in addition to the dowel pins, and then 2 screws going up from the bottom. There's a cross member with the steering wheel, and we'll move on to tires. So putting the front and the back tires on, pretty easy. Put them where they're supposed to go in relation to the bed. And then they are put on with 2 screws from the back side in the case of the front, and 3 for the back tires to hold them in place. 2 notes about the front tires that weren't covered in the front tire video. First off, to make it look like an actual front tire of a tractor with 2 grooves in it, I cut these grooves out of the 2x4s with my table saw before I painted it. And then last thing, with the overhang, with the side panel, you're going to need some spacing. So I needed a 2-inch spacer, and I did that. It's kind of really hard to see with where it is now, but it's just a 2x4 and a piece of 1/2 inch plywood to give me 2 inches behind there to space it out, glued, all screwed together and sandwiched, so to make sure the tire doesn't go anywhere. But anyways, that is the front tire. And the back tire on, and we'll put the steps on next. Okay, just 2 screws to hold the steps on each side. I put some, this will dry clear, some putty on each corner just to cover up any rough edges on the metal so he doesn't cut himself. And that's it. That's the end of the project. The lock is on for the door underneath there. Once all this glue dries, we'll shut that. I just don't want to make it glue together. But anyways, that is the end of the project. Little walk around. There's the back. Here's the side towards me. You got headlights in here. And then coming around to the front, and that is the Allis Chalmers tractor bed project.